and friends and neighbors, or shall I say this afternoon.
Welcome back to the Steelers franchise on Madden 22. I'm your host, longtime listener. Be sure to drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment below. We are now in week 12 of the season. We've only played 2 of the games ourselves. We won both, and then after the first one, we simmed a bunch and we won 5 in a row total. Then we lost, played one more, and now we've won 4 in a row. And then coming off a bye week, we're going to be taking on the Ravens, who are 7-4. We've got them at their place, so it's going to be a tough game. Now, what I'm honestly thinking at this point, at 9-1 on the year, I think if I just ride it out and simulate the rest of the way, we could end up easily making the playoffs. So we might actually do that just to try and keep moving along deep into this franchise series. So we'll have to kind of see how that goes. Now, as we see here, this Vaughn Baker is looking like a serious prospect at QB as far as the draft news, but I don't think that's something that intrigues me that much. What I'll do is come in and put a heart on him. He's probably like the #1 overall draft pick or QB. He's ranked 8th overall. We'll put a heart on him just so that he's highlighted. If for some reason he happens to be there like in the second round and he's a really good mobile QB that I think is a can't miss option. See, his speed isn't that great. So, yeah, we're not going to take this guy, but it sounds like he could end up being a superstar dev trait because of the fact that they list his dad as being a former, NFL stud or whatever. When they say stuff like that, it's to try and get you to realize that there's something special about that player. But let's go ahead and set the strategy for this week. I think against the Ravens, even though they are #1 running the football, they still pass it more than they throw it. I am going to worry about the passing game first and kind of adjust from there. We'll stick with the blitz counter strategy. Seems to be working pretty well. Now over here, we'll go with the 2 touchdowns, get a bunch of first downs, throw for 275, and let's get some sacks. And again, kind of what I'm thinking at this point is, even if we lose this game, I might sim another. And again, it's really so that we can kind of get deep into the franchise. We're at the point now where, as much fun as it is to play with this team because of some of the weapons that we now have, I still think I kind of want some longevity of the franchise series to just kind of see how well this team can do year after year, really without me influencing the games too much and just kind of making some of the managerial decisions. Because that's what you see with a lot of franchise rebuilds or whatever, is they don't play any of the games. They just, get in there, they make drafts, and they make trades, and they do things that, frankly, every single one of them says that they're going to try and keep things realistic, but I rarely actually see that. And I'm guilty of it myself. I do things and I try to say, yeah, we're going to try and keep things realistic, and then, we trade away Cam Hayward. Like that's not very realistic. Or, certain things like that anyway. All right, we lost, so let's go in and look at the box score at least and see what happened here. We lost by 10. And we were just atrocious offensively. We ended up turning it over once. We only ended up with 61 rushing yards and 203 through the air. Our defense actually did a decent job considering how bad our offense was. I mean, we gave up, 283 through the air, 122 on the ground. Both of those are a little higher than I would like. Crawford wasn't really that bad, honestly. He was only sacked once. He was intercepted, which kind of stinks, but he's been pretty good for us this year. We obviously didn't get it going on the ground. And we just had we had trouble stopping them when it mattered because they had 22 first downs. That's a lot. Juju had a decent day. Big day for Marquise Brown. 9 catches, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Defensively, how about McCrary with 12 tackles? TJ Watt with 11, including 5 for a loss. That's crazy. 1 sack for Watt, 1 for Reed Casey, and then who had the interception? Mike Hughes. So that's a tough loss. We're still 9-2 on the year, and I really think what I might do moving forward with this franchise is kind of what we've done already this season, except like once we get to where we're pretty sure we're going to make the playoffs, we'll start simming some games and just kind of let the AI take care of it, because I don't know that we beat the Seahawks. They're 8-3, although they're not very good, as you see based on their overall ratings or whatever. So I think we can actually beat them. Then we get the Vikings, who I don't think the Vikings are very good. Big game against the Chiefs maybe, but bottom line is let's just burn through some games. We'll make the general manager decisions for a little while and just kind of try and keep things rolling along. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. We've only cut 3 guys so far. I need to kind of think about who all we want to let go to make room for some fresh blood. Highsmith, 28 years old. He's a 76 overall. He's pretty decent. But let's kind of think about, he's a maybe. Herbig is a maybe. Durant is basically the exact same player, so obviously he's also a maybe. Jacoby Stevens, 72 overall. We let go, so that's one for sure that can go. Hackett, I think we will bring back as the backup right tackle, and then Spillane is a for sure let go. So honestly, none of these guys, with the exception of Hackett, are like, yeah, we got to bring him back. And we've only left 3 players go so far: a safety, a tight end, and a wideout. So let's let Highsmith. Actually, you know what? If we're gonna let Spillane go and Jacoby Stevens, why don't we bring Highsmith back? I'm gonna try and make it a 1-year deal if possible. So to do that, I bet we're going to have to boost the signing bonus. But let's give that a try and see if he takes it. He wants a better bonus and duration. So that's not good. Now Herbig, here's another situation where we've got 2 guards. If I let them both go, then we've got to go get 2 more guards. But we're still only talking 1, 2, 3. We'll bring him back. That would be 4, 5, 6, 7 players. So I'm going to actually just go ahead and let him go. He's only a 73 overall. He's 27 years old. Guys like that I can go find in free agency if I really want to, or we can try and draft somebody to kind of backfill those roles. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so against the Seahawks. Yes, defend the deep pass. Yes, go with blitz counter. And then over here, we're going to go with the exact same goals that we had last time. These are pretty much our default goals. It doesn't really matter anymore because the only thing I get out of those is staff points, which I'm not even using. Now, we might lose a coordinator if they go take a head coaching. Oh, wait. Am I on full pads. Why did it show some fatigue there? I need to make sure I check that when we get back to next week's training session. Grant Crawford's getting better. We're going to continue to emphasize throw on the run, throw under pressure, and deep accuracy. Yeah, I'll take those. So, throw under pressure can be a big one. Benny Snell, what were we doing with him? Were we going with power? Let's go with power to make him a little bit more balanced, because if I have him for a couple more years, he's going to lose his elusiveness traits, and that's where I'll want to have him just kind of step in and maybe be our power back for a year or two. All right, I think that's it for this week. Let's go ahead and jump forward. This is a big one. We don't want to drop 2 in a row, and the AFC North race is getting pretty tight now, so come on, guys, get her done. We lost again. Come on, guys. And just 14 points tells me that our offense is not clicking at the moment. But, you know, we've got the Vikings coming up. They're 6-6. We get them at home. We got to get back on track here. So, we didn't run it well. We threw it all over the place, but the turnovers. Our defense was awesome, except we couldn't come up with turnovers, and their defense did. So that's why we lost. Grant Crawford, 2 interceptions. You can't, and he was sacked 4 times. Dang it. We didn't run the ball at all. Jeez Louise. Which, if you're not running it like that, you get a little bit one-dimensional, and that's how sometimes defenses can make big plays and turnovers, because they can anticipate what you're about to do. Zach Monroe had 2 sacks, led our team in tackles with 7. Wait, I want sacks, not tackles for loss. Let's see here. 2 for him, 1 for Brooks, Tillery, Taylor, and Samuels, and then Quincy Shields gets another. Dansby had both of their interceptions. The rookie corner had a big day for them, and that basically was the difference in that one. Because the way their offense was playing, if we would have just taken care of the football, they would have had a hard time scoring points. Dang it. Of course I try this strategy of, oh, let's just sim for a while, and everything will take care of itself. We lose 2 in a row. Now we get the Vikings. If we don't win against the Vikings, we're going back to action. There's no question. We got to, especially if it's the Chiefs coming to town, we do not want to take our chances losing 4 in a row. So Highsmith wants a better bonus and duration. I don't want to give him a 2-year deal, though. So we're going to just keep upping the signing bonus and see if we can get him for a 1-year deal. There. That I'm fine with. Now the rest of the way, basically we'll let Herbig and Durant go. We will let Stevens go. We'll re-sign Hackett to probably a 2-year deal, because that'll make him 27, and he's only going to be about a 72, and that's when we part ways, and then we'll let Spillane go. So that's the strategy with the rest of the signings or extensions that are due. Weekly strategy against the Vikings is going to be defend the deep pass. Yeah, I guess. I mean, they're probably not going to be very good. Do they still have Delvin Cook, and is he still good? He's still very good. Let's actually try and slow him down. Take that out of their arsenal. They are really good against the pass, so let's try and run it. Let's see if we can't have a good day on the ground in this one. So if we go in here, we'll go, let's get an interception. Let's get the first downs. We're going to rush for 150, and we're going to get some sacks. So that's the plan. in this one. Going to mix it up a little bit and hopefully get back on the win train. If you get 10 wins... Ah, crap! I forgot to check the fatigue thing. I'm pretty sure we're on full pads because everybody is getting fatigued here, and that is bad news. So we've got to fix that before it becomes an issue. Do not let me forget to do that in the next week's training. So let's go upgrade. I don't even know why I would have changed it. For that 1 week where you're on a bye, it really doesn't matter. Let's go power here. He's already really good at pass protection. Alright, come on, guys. Come out and give me a win here. Let's go... Oh, Justin Jefferson is a 99 overall. So maybe we should have stopped the pass. Did we just make a huge mistake? Crap! You gotta be kidding me. 35-14? Come on, guys. 3 in a row. We've got to play the next one and get back on track. It sucks, but that's pretty much what's going to have to go down. We just got dick stomped. Look at this. They outran us. They out-threw us. We couldn't do anything offensively. What the hell? Crawford wasn't even that bad. He was sacked twice, but 16 for 27 is like, eh. But when you can't run it at all, you're going to lose. Benny Snell, 12 carries, 36 yards. And then we didn't even try beyond that. They got Tyreek and Jefferson and Delvin Cook. How are they only 7-6 with that win? Dang. We actually did a decent job keeping them kind of in check. Juju, 3 catches, 61. I mean, like, I just don't understand how we can all of a sudden be this bad. We didn't turn the ball over. Like, what was our problem here? Did we have penalties? We're not getting a ton of sacks. There weren't any interceptions, were there? No. So let's look at punting. Did we have issues punting? No. Averaging 60. We had to punt 6 times, and he averaged 60 yards. And there's nothing I can see about penalties, so... Well, that is bad news, because now we've lost 3 in a row. Morale could start to become an issue. And I think we're back to where we've got to play this next game to try and get us back on track. It's the Chiefs, which won't be fun. Let's look here at the league news and see if there's anything else about the draft. There are. Defensive tackle Purnell, Beckham, Ole Miss running back. Okay, so that one we're going to just ignore because that's bad news and there's nothing we can really do. So Beckham, running back at Ole Miss. Purnell, defensive tackle. Let's go find them and get them highlighted. So, prospects. Let's go halfback. Beckham out of Ole Miss. Looks like he's going to be a stud. And then defensive tackle, Purnell. He could end up being a stud. Alright. Now, we got the Chiefs. I hope that fatigue is not an issue going into this game because of whatever's going on with our practice sessions being full pads. I'm kind of mad at myself for having done that because it just doesn't, it's not worth it. Alright, so these 2 guys are both going to be let go. And then in week 17, we will re-sign Hackett and let go Robert Spillane. Alright, so Week 15, we've lost 3 in a row. The Chiefs come into this one at 10-3. We're 9-4 and in a 3-way tie for first. What's going on in the conference? This is a huge game with playoff implications. We've lost 3 in a row. They've won 2 in a row. If we beat them, we will be tied for the best record in the AFC and have beat them head-to-head, which, please, NFL, tell me that head-to-head is the first tiebreaker, because it should be. But I honestly don't know for sure. All right, weekly strategy. So, yes, defend the deep pass. Forget this run inside nonsense. We're going to go back to blitz counter. And then, actually, wait. Almost did it again. Player health. Wait, we're still on half pads. What was going on with the fatigue there? Why? That doesn't... Why? Oh, these guys are full pads. Dang it. So it's just the offense that was on full pads. But that's okay. We'll get past that. All right. Now, let's go TD passes, first downs, 275, and we're going to get sacks on Mahomes. I can feel it in my bones, Mahomes. All right. So the fatigue situation getting back to a little bit better there. Let's go. Can I go offense? Yeah, -5. Those are going in the right direction now. That's good. All right. Now, what else do we need to accomplish before we get into the game against the Chiefs? Got a player upgrade. The rookie strong safety. He's coming along quite nicely. Already up to an 81. And, you know, he's only 23 years old. He's actually in his second year, but he's going to be pretty good for us for a while. Now the challenge... Oh, wait. Who's coming back from an injury here? Apparently, Deontay Johnson was hurt. It must not have been for very long, because I don't remember them saying anything about an injury. All right, so yeah, we'll leave him as the #1 guy there. Then let's go to the slot wideout situation, and I want... Yeah, let's just leave Juju there. That's probably fine. We're still, you know, just loaded at wideout. So we have got to leverage that fact when, you know, we go play teams that don't have a very good secondary. Because if we can get matchups with, like, Juju running a slant against a nickel corner, he's going to win that 9 times out of 10, and that's 15 yards. So that's what we've got in mind there. Now, the problem with this episode is that we're now pretty well into it and haven't even started a game. So we're going to wrap this one here. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's go ahead and, since it's going to be a relatively short episode anyway, did I already look at this? Yeah. Let's go ahead and look at stats around the league. I mean, it's kind of late in the season, so we'll just get sort of a late season snapshot here. John Gruden is now coaching the Eagles, as you can see there. So he's apparently still hanging around with coaching jobs. I'm up to #7 on the head coaching legacy leaderboard after just, 5 seasons? Or 4 seasons? This is season #5, I believe. Grant Crawford's still having a very good year. The QB rating is almost 110. He's been sacked 18 times and picked off 8 times. Both of those numbers are acceptable. 25 touchdown passes and averaging about 270 per game is pretty good. So I'm happy with what he's done this year. Benny Snell has been pretty good for us, quite frankly, but those fumbles, we've got to stop. We cannot lose the ball because we can't hang on to it. But 2 isn't terrible. Grant Crawford actually doing a good job holding on to the football. I'd like to see him actually run for more yards than that, but, it's not a big deal. And then Richardson, the rookie, those numbers are actually pretty good. He's just not getting as many touches as maybe we would like, but that's not that bad. McFarland has been terrible, but who cares? All right, receiving. This is where we're showing our depth here with Johnson, Claypool, and Smith-Schuster all looking to have pretty good seasons here. Johnson will go over 1,000 yards. Claypool should. Juju probably won't, but he's still having a pretty solid year. Freiermuth's been okay. Richardson's doing a pretty good job receiving. So those numbers out of the backfield are pretty good. 5 touchdowns is awesome. Benny Snell has been okay in the passing game. Ray has been pretty much a non-factor this year. But it's because I've got 3 guys ahead of him at wideout that are higher in the progression. And then you've got Freiermuth, who also kind of gets priority. So it's rare that we're going to be looking the way of Ray. 115 tackles for Devin Bush already, 7 for a loss. How about 18 tackles for a loss by TJ Watt? So he's making plays for us. He's also racking up a ton of sacks. He's got 17. Monroe has 9.5. Shields 7.5, and then it is a steep drop off. But those 3 guys, that's our what I call the trio of terror. With Watt and Monroe coming off the edges, it's pretty reasonable to expect us to come up with a bunch of sacks. And then Shields up the middle remember we drafted him thinking with his strength he could just manhandle guys and come up with plays because of that, and that has sort of panned out. He's turning into a pretty good player. If we look at his, overall, he's an 83, but it's all about his strength. His strength rating is 99, and he's getting bonuses there where he just throws guys around, and his block shedding is actually pretty good. So he can make plays, and I really am thrilled with what we got out of that draft pick way back in the day. Kicking, we've only tried 10 field goals to this point in the season, which is kind of bonkers. I wonder if it's just because we're scoring touchdowns instead. Let's go look at that in a second. And then Presley Harvin having a pretty good year in terms of punts. I don't like those 9 touchbacks, but whatever. All right, let's go look at the team rankings real quick, and then we'll wrap things up. So, offensively, we are, let's see, where are we? About 9th or 10th here in total yards with 5,006. We're doing very well passing. Let's see, that's 6, 7, 8. We're 10th in passing. Rushing, we are about 10th as well, so we're balanced, and that's good. We're putting up points. Let's see. So the Saints are 6. So we're 9th in points per game, which is pretty good. Passing touchdowns, we're about 9th. Rushing touchdowns, we're like 7th. So we are consistently up around 10th in just about every category. We're a little bit lower in first downs, but not by much. So the offense is good across the board. Defensively, we are 5th in total yards allowed. Excuse me. We're about 8th or 9th in pass yards allowed. We are 6th in defensive yards allowed. We are about 9th in points allowed. I'll bet you we're 1st in sacks. 2nd behind the Chiefs. So that's going to be interesting to see if who wins the battle defensively as far as sacks. We only have 4 interceptions. 2nd worst total in the entire league. And we've only got 1 fumble recovery. So we are not doing a good job getting turnovers. defensively. So that's an issue. We are 4th in third down conversion percentage. How about fourth downs? Fourth downs is not a huge deal. We're kind of in the middle. 7 of 14. A bunch of people are 50% for the year. Red zone efficiency. So 50 trips to the red zone. We've got 34 touchdowns, but only 5 field goals. So that means 11 times out of 50 that we've gone to the red zone, we didn't even get points. You can't do that. You've got to get points when you get into the red zone. So that is something that we'll have to do better. And then turnovers, also something that we will need to do better. Now, it looks like we are good. Actually, no. We're really bad here as well. When teams get to the red zone, they're getting touchdowns 3/4 of the time. That's garbage. We've got to be better there. And then, we're not. We've got 10 times out of those 46 where they didn't score at all. But 34 out of 46 getting touchdowns is just, we've got to be better than that. That's what you want offensively, not defensively. Penalties, we're actually not first because we've simmed a bunch of them, but we're still about 9th. So we're pretty much like 9th at everything. Now, the turnover differential, I'll bet you we are, wait. I'll bet you we're toward the bottom. Yeah. We're really bad here, and it's not because we're giving the ball away a lot. We haven't lost any fumbles, and only 8 interceptions is actually pretty good. So let's see here. That's Seahawks would be 6. We're probably about, well, there's a bunch of teams with 7, and then we're here in the middle of the pack with 8. So it's not bad, but we're throwing the ball a lot. That's understandable with a young quarterback as well. But this is terrible. We've got to have more takeaways. That's just unacceptable. 2nd worst in the league behind the Rams, who only have 3. That's just atrocious. We've got to do better there. But, again, we're 9-4. We got to get back on track after these 3 losses. But a win here against the Chiefs, you'd think would kind of get our feet under us, and maybe we can settle things down going into the postseason and pick up a couple of wins down the stretch here. But that is going to do it for this episode. If you have not done so already, please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below, and we will see y'all next time.
Good evening, friends and neighbors. Or shall I say this afternoon?